As a business owner over the years, who's hired, let's say, people to develop software for me, it's a black hole. Like, we never know as much as they know. Okay, my brother had, John was the WPP. There was $17 billion. Like, these freaking, consult. They tell you it's going to be 6 months, and then it's going to be another 6 months, and it's just a black hole. I guess I feel like it could be the same way with AI, except the difference is that AI is going to give you a product real fast. It just may not be a good one. Here we are. We're back with another episode of
That Big Talk about Small Business.
And we've got a couple guests with us here.
Impromptu guests.
Impromptu. Eric just invited him in from the lobby.
Yeah.
That is not a lie.
That's what happened.
That is 100% accurate.
We know these guys, though. Well, I know them.
You
really
know,
well.
I don't know these guys.
You don't know who they are.
No, I just met these guys 5
in the
minutes
lobby.
ago. Yeah.
And they're like, let's go.
Yeah, talking about wives and stuff. I see these
Give
guys.
us some advice.
No, I just saw these two hipsters with their ball caps and their mustaches. Speaking of Ron Burgundy.
Right.
There you go.
Which is not Talladega Nights.
Yeah, another role.
Another Will Ferrell role.
Yeah. What is it with the mustaches with these? And the 4-day beard growths. I mean, they all do
That's
it.
the first question of the podcast.
That's a good. It's a good point.
Josiah here. Is this Josiah?
That's
Yeah,
Josiah.
it's-
Yeah. And that's Connor.
Yeah.
Tell these guys who you are.
Yeah, I'm Josiah Ripplemeyer.
Okay.
I work for Eric over at Ad Fury. My title, which I think is going to get picked apart a little bit, is an AI architect.
He doesn't know any of our rules yet.
I don't
No,
know
that's
the
right.
rules.
Okay, yeah, the
This
rule-
is what
well-
happens when you pull someone in from the lobby.
I'm sorry.
That's a good point.
We try to avoid excessive cursing. There will be some cursing, but we stay away from certain curse words.
Okay.
We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about contentious social topics. And we wait for the other person to finish before we speak. You don't always do a good job with that.
No, we don't. That's a little bit of a loose rule.
Anyway, that's one of our. But sorry, so you do work with Ad Fury. You're an AI architect.
Yes.
You know, the architects, the real architects, hate that. In fact, they're suing software people over that.
I didn't know
Because
that.
because to be an architect, you have to be to call yourself an architect. You can have a 5-year degree, but you're not licensed. You can't call yourself an architect. You're an intern or you're a designer. So here we got these guys that don't even have an architectural education.
Right.
Okay, they're computer jocks or whatever. That's a boomer term, isn't it? Computer jocks.
I don't think I've heard that
themselves
one. I like
architects,
it.
but anyway, okay. So he's an AI architect.
Yeah.
We'll let him go with that for right now. We're going to come back to you.
Not licensed AI architect.
Yeah, just
I am comfortable with AI computer jock.
yeah, that's good.
I know he didn't really want to use that term, architect. You forced him into it.
I did.
Okay, you're trying to make it sound more esoteric than it is.
That's my fault.
I don't know a damn thing about AI, but we're going to get into that in a minute. Connor over here,
Yes.
tell us about yourself.
My name is Connor Callison. I also work for Eric over at Ad Fury. Josiah is my direct boss,
Okay.
Dang.
and Eric is over everyone
Except JS.
except JS.
Yep.
So
So what do you do, Connor, what's your practice? What do you do on a daily basis?
so I'm a prompt engineer. So I do a lot of talking with AI to get the desired result that we're trying to achieve, which I will not talk about what we're doing over there at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, basically just continually prompting it or telling it different things to get a desired result is the most simple
Well,
explanation.
it sounds like you're doing all the work. What the heck's Josiah?
Architecting.
What do we need him for?
He's
then?
architecting, Mark.
I don't know what that means in this
Planning,
context.
organizing,
Is that it?
master planning.
It is
Is it?
very
Okay.
big picture. It's a more traditional term. It's closer to like a back end engineer.
Okay.
for a software company, but specifically within the realm of AI.
So a lot of new roles, but it's really kind of, let's tapping into really the discussion today, right? Which is, what is AI doing to the entrepreneurial and the business landscape? Like it's a pretty significant thing. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of intimidation out there, a lot of unknown, and it's not a certain industry in of itself. You know, I like, and honestly, like one of the best things I attach it to as an analogy is something similar to the Industrial Revolution, right? I mean,
we're automating stuff.
Automating
done up shoes a pair at a time.
Exactly, and I think it's really scary for a lot of folks because it's, you know, the Industrial Revolution really automated a lot of the kind of more blue collar manual labor work.
Yeah.
Right.
AI is revolutionizing a lot of the white collar strategic work.
Yeah, if you're a marketing consultant, you might want to start thinking about going and getting your plumbing license.
Yeah.
So that's one. That's one decision you can make. But the other one that I think that we're going to try to encourage folks, right, is adaptation, evolution.
Yeah.
You know, like you can, you know, again, similar to that revolution, like you can either bounce out and do something completely different, or you can start learning the machines and how to work those things, because there is a lot of practicality that you can apply to those things. Like, you know what works and doesn't work, right? Because we see a lot of times in the news of letting AI do its own thing, and it doesn't really turn out very well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the point, though, of just marketing, people should be worried. I actually just yesterday met with a recent college grad who studied marketing, and he was picking my brain about what can he do to market himself as he's looking for work in this changing landscape around AI. So it's basically like, how can I be utilizing AI to show that, you know, I'm not behind the curve here. But that's exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you've got to adapt.
Here's what I've found. Like, I feel like that everybody, and all entrepreneurs, anybody listening to the show, anybody really on the earth right now, needs to recognize that this is not something that's impacting one sector or another, or one person or whatever. Because I mean, I have 20-something years in experience in marketing. This whole thing is like making me completely change all my presumptions and all the, you know, I've spent a lot of time in this arena. So like in 20 plus years, right, I have to go, okay, wait a minute, everything's being reinvented now. However, there's a lot of comfort in where I'm sitting to say, oh, I can apply all these learnings and this experience I have to help navigate and set up these workflows and what's going on, and become attuned to that. And to the recent grad, is it same? We're in the same scenario, but with different places where we start out with, right? The recent grad, the good news for them is that they can really start fresh, and they can really apply that energy and all this time into what's going on with AI and starting to use those tools and making sure they understand. But I think the answer on both sides is you either jump in or
you fight change.
Or you fight change. Which is opposite of entrepreneurship in a lot of ways, right? I mean, like,
some businesses make it just by not changing anything, but it's rare.
It is rare.
I mean, that is a strategy you can follow. I actually wrote an article on that once called The Strategy of Changing Absolutely Nothing. I mean, there's a 200-year-old company in England that makes shoes a pair at a time. And, like, you know, they got like 40 workers, and the King of England wears their shoes and stuff. But that's a rarity.
That's fair.
Okay? That's a rarity.
That is fair. But what I like about that, though, Mark, and what I'm kind of, and I'll let you guys talk a little bit, but I get excited about this because I do believe that in spite of all this mass change going on with AI and how everything's being impacted, there is going to be this artisan side.
Yes, there is.
Right, the buy local, the artisan, the you know, you still have the painter that's the genius that comes out. I mean, all those things will live on. I think they might be even more valuable as time goes on.
I agree.
I completely agree.
But back on this young guy, though, I just want to say something. I read an article recently on LinkedIn where somebody writes in, it's like, I don't know, you know, what should I encourage my kid to do in college, yada, 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 with AI and all these changes and everything. And the answer, somebody gave it, but, you know, was basically, and I totally agree with this, Focus on the things that are not impacted by AI, like your verbal communication skills, your ability to maintain relationships, your interpersonal skills. Those things aren't going to go away. Those are always going to be valued, and you can learn the technologies that you need and adapt. It's not like go into geotechnical engineering.
Right.
Susie, that's going to be a hot career for the next 20 years. Who says college education should be vocational training? Right. It teaches you how to think. And act and communicate.
I love how you say that. Is my original background was actually in education, and I taught during COVID, and you see the soft skills just deteriorate
exactly
in students with especially within COVID, and then the prevalence of just communicating online only, and then even just using ChatGPT as your best friend. Those soft skills are just deteriorating really quickly, and they're going to be even more important and easier to just set yourself apart. You can't just, I've joked and said like prompt engineering, like it is a good title, but it's quickly becoming like equivalent to just being able to use Microsoft Word. Like everyone should be able to do that.
But just because you can use Microsoft Word doesn't make you a good writer.
Exactly. Yes.
Or if you can use a graphic design program doesn't mean you're a good graphic designer. I mean, it's like I could see like what Connor does over here is super valuable. And if you do have a really good communication skill set, it will help you phrase these queries or whatever we want to call them properly to get what you really want.
Right.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
As a guy with some education background?
Yeah, but you're going to need to be able to show that you can do it. And, saying I'm a prompt engineer is going to lose a lot of value.
Sure, I understand.
It's going to become completely saturated. So it's more like, show me what you've built, that kind of thing.
Well, we get that with graphic design.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric, we've been hiring graphic designers for 40 years.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a graphic artist. Whenever I see that, I'm like, okay. Okay. And then you look at their stuff and it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you're not. You know how to use PageMaker or whatever is used today,
Yeah.
But you suck.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the thing is it's kind of parallel to what has always happened, right? You can be a graphic designer, but then can you be a creative director?
Yeah.
Right. There's another level to that. This soft skill
even a
thing,
different level,
it's like, how do you communicate? How do you lead other people? How do you lead projects? How do you lead business? How do you, build that infrastructure?
Right.
And be able to actually have those types of relationships to make things actually happen.
Right.
And I see I think this is a really good point, those soft skills, right? Like, I guess one statement might be, with AI coming in, do not forsake the soft skills.
Right.
And actually you need to study, self-learn. This is an opportunity for you to graduate and take those things to a higher level while everything else is kind of being levelized in a lot of ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you two guys are in the heat of the battle out there. Just tell us, what are some applications that people are really using AI for today? I mean, we all know, customer service. There's a million applications for it there. You don't even know who the hell you're talking to. I'm sure I was talking to AI the other day with American Airlines. In fact, I asked it if it was AI, and I didn't get a response, which told me it was AI.
Yeah.
Right.
But so what are some applications that you all are seeing and where it's really getting rapidly adopted?
Yeah. One that y'all have heard of and everyone has heard of is ChatGPT. And within ChatGPT, there's a lot of different capabilities. And I think one within the last couple of months that has been used a lot professionally and also maybe just for entertainment is their image generation. And it can generate incredibly detailed, high quality images just based off your prompt and how detailed your prompt is, of course. But I think people are...
Yeah, we've all seen those online. It's interesting. And videos, too. I don't know if ChatGPT does videos, but...
They have a video feature, but it's... a little bit behind in comparison to like Google has a really good video feature right now. And so I guess just my point is with all of these, a lot of people, I think, talking about marketing or like using this tool specifically for social media, blog posts. I mean, they're saving time on having to go out and take photos or videos. And so for whatever they're posting.
That's a practical application.
I think
What else?
social media is inundated. I know how Webster always adds like a word of the year or a phrase. I could see AI slop being added very
So
soon.
you call that slop? These
but just like,
fake videos and pictures of things?
well, I mean, people are making quite a bit of money doing it. They'll set up automated workflows that are just pumping out automated AI generated videos and publishing them. One of the most popular ones is a Yeti that's vlogging through the woods, right, or the mountains. But those are obviously more
entertaining.
silly
But
ones.
it is kind of funny, right?
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
hilarious.
Or the babies talking. We've
Yes,
all
yeah.
seen a million of those,
Absolutely.
right?
But I'm more,
Practical.
practical. Within sales, lead generations is rapidly becoming an automated process.
How would AI help with that?
So through a combination of crawling, scraping, using LinkedIn connections, and then you already mentioned AI voice, that could be, is very rapidly becoming a first touch point.
Like a prospecting tool, basically.
Yeah, where
But maybe it's qualifying the leads.
Right.
where there's
Connor tells it what to do properly.
Yeah.
Right.
Cold calling with AI to get a first touch point, or at least emails written by AI that's just blasting out, like expanding this,
Wow.
casting in a huge net for lead generation. It's definitely more of a quantity over quality at that point.
Well,
But-
when you got people sitting there on the phone spinning the dial 100 times a
Yeah.
day, that's a quantity over quality deal too. I mean, that ain't always great. We all know, right?
Yeah, it's like it has the same implications as everything that we practiced before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you build out a huge call center and you're calling people and your lead gen ratio is 1 out of every 10 or 20 customers.
That you get through to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still trying to make that
Sure.
happen in such a high volume way that, but this is the same practice, right?
Except with one person.
Except with one person.
Yeah,
right?
that's
so your
very
cost
interesting.
is a lot lower. However,
And their turnover's zero. Because
Right.
those people turn over all the time. They need
Right.
a lot of training.
but the thing is at the end of the day, does it really work?
That's the question. Yeah.
And so I think a lot of my experience has been like, and what the challenge I believe for a lot of small business owners is, where do I start? Like, what's the really, because do you want to
low-hanging
start
fruit.
Right. Well, do you want to start and build out a huge call center? Is that really what you need to be doing?
Right.
Or do you really need to hone in on exactly who are your prospects? Because you can use AI to really take a bunch of mass information, bring it down to a very direct, exact type of person, and then personalize that outreach, going back to the soft skills thing.
Yeah.
Which it's going to be interesting, and my belief is a little bit more about bring all the information down into that and then still apply, because I want to have a human touch to it. I want to be the person to know who I'm reaching out to.
Yeah, you want to be able to apply your experience
Yeah.
and common
And
sense
my
and
soft
knowledge.
skills to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like that's superior. That's
Yeah.
very powerful. And it gets me where I'm trying to get to. And I can also, which to me is another big thing about AI, I can sense my place. Like I can feel the ground underneath my feet as I take steps.
Right.
Where a lot of my experience has been with AI, it's like out in
A black box.
It's a black box.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
a
know what
total
the hell's
mystery.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to level up your show? At podcastvideos.com, we offer industry-leading recording and expert marketing to help your show reach more listeners. From creation to distribution, we've got you covered. Visit podcastvideos.com and elevate your podcast today.
That's a good point. But let's go back to this like automated prospecting thing, just for the sake of discussion. As a small business owner, let's just say I've got a business, I sell storm windows or whatever, right? And I got like 5 guys back there chain smoking in this room, dialing away, looking like they're in the boiler room of Glen Ross, right?
Love it. Raining outside.
Yeah, exactly. And so I I'm tired of these guys. They don't do a very good job. I have constant turnover. We're not getting enough leads. So I want to use AI for my storm window company to do this. Where do I go? Who do I go to? What do I do?
Yeah,
If I was a business owner wanting that.
there's a whole industry, that's growing rapidly. I guess you would just call it like AI consulting. There's, 1-person, 2-person teams that are growing. And a lot of times they're using these AI tools to gather leads, reach out to small businesses for those purposes of, I want to build your workflow. I see you have this kind of business. Here are the types of workflows I've experienced building. I can build you an automated tool. It'll be an initial setup fee and then X amount a month to maintain it. And those are popping up all over the place.
And would you agree, and so on that,
Yeah.
OpenAI, I saw recently, has started a consulting arm of their business, right?
Yeah.
But this same application, right? If I have this company, small company, I wouldn't want to try to reach out to OpenAI and use their service, right? That's like going to Omnicom or Publicis Group and trying to use them as an ad agency for my small business. But I would reach out to a solo entrepreneur that's building a business. It's probably a better step. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Because it's the same principle, though. I mean, you get a little bit more attention. Maybe they're a startup. They're being eager in an entrepreneurial sense, and they're trying to get a client and build their business.
Where am I going to find this person?
So where would you find a person like that? Like, is there a resource, or you start?
Yeah, I mean, it's still relatively new, so especially in an area like Northwest Arkansas, where it's not necessarily a huge tech hub. There's not a lot of .AIs around here.
Which that needs to change, but go ahead.
I mean, it's getting better every day.
Well, we got one company.
we got
that's
you.
.AI here.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah!
yeah,
Come
we
on
do.
with it.
Add Fury.
.AI. Where's the phone book for these AI consultants?
Where are these guys?
I mean, there's Reddit subreddits that are people are dying to make money. The problem
There's
is
great information on Reddit every time.
yeah, I know, right? It is becoming very saturated very quickly because people see a quick dollar.
And they're proclaimed experts or
And
yeah.
it's similar to like web development, where early on, if you needed a website built, your options were to go to school and learn to code, or to hire someone to do it for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But now today, there's countless tools, Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, all of these ones that can build sites for you, and you don't have to know one line of code. And that is the direction AI automation is going as well. It's
So like
headed
the
in that way.
canned sort of solutions or
Right.
I hate
So
that word, but
Well, I think a lot of the mystery here
products, applications.
is that AI is in that start. It's literally in the startup sector, right?
Right.
The whole industry. And so I've been seeing more entrepreneurs starting these consulting businesses, but they're right now they're able to garner the business they need in a lot of the developers' black hole conversations, like in Reddit and other places, right? These forums that no one else goes to except the dev
right.
folks. However, you're gonna start seeing them exposing themselves into more mainstream, like the social media platforms, announcing their business. They're gonna have bona fide type entities created, but that's just now starting I think, to happen, right? Like to your point, Northwest Arkansas. No, there's not a lot of .AI companies, but I can imagine here in the near future that you're gonna start having folks that are starting their own business to do AI consulting, and then I see it's gonna start diversifying into specialists in certain sectors. Everything from manufacturing to restaurants to
Where they've found solutions that they then repeat or refine
go deep
in the
into
same
a niche.
in vertical industry vertical.
Right.
So
Makes sense.
I think of like a lot of the good news to this as, so if you're listening and you have your own business and you're not leveraging AI right now, you don't know where to start. I think there's some comfort in knowing, like for yourself, like Mark is a good example. There is some comfort in the upcoming next time period, within a short time period, the next 6 months or a year.
That there'll be some resources.
There'll start being some resources that you know that you can talk to that can then consult, and just like a website.
Yeah.
Exactly like a website.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So can we go back to our earlier topic though?
Yeah.
What other applications? Like, so the prospecting, that's one. Give us some other things that businesses are using the AI for.
Yeah, so there's just overall strategy.
AI is going to write strategy?
I don't think it's going to be, I don't think you should do 100% written, by AI. In all of these, we talk about a human in the loop.
Yeah.
Like it's an AI assisted, whether that's building out a, content strategy or a marketing strategy for a new product release.
Pricing strategy.
Pricing strategies.
Now, the pricing does make a lot of sense, though, because you can go out there and it gathers up a lot of information for you.
Instantly.
Yeah, so that I have seen. That's a good point. I like that.
I think that there's a lot of what my experience has been as an adopter, right? Is it like you start with one place and then
You start seeing other uses.
Exactly. It starts kind of like, okay, but you do realize that you as the prompter, like you're the person that's coaching this and you're the director of the movie,
Right.
And it's starting, but you keep going down in these channels, and then you start seeing how it can be useful. And I do think that as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, right? Like, is it my job to build out an entire AI workflow, for the call center back end process? Probably not. Like, my time's better spent to maybe be using it as strategy and research, and then hire out for the execution of the workflow, right?
Right.
Well, it's very interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that pricing, because I was talking with a friend of mine the other day. He's very high level in one of our major retail companies, whose name I won't mention. But he was telling me they took a product that they sell and said, compare our product to all other products that compete with it. And it got amazing. He goes, normally this would take like somebody like 10 days to write this up. And he goes, just instantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better information, all the pricing, the qualities, everything.
Yeah.
All in one place, one neat, tidy package. So that's a really cool idea. A small business owner could do that.
100%.
Right, what they're offering.
That is case in point.
Yeah.
That is, I think that when we there's a very intimidating thing to say, okay, start adopting AI and using it.
Yeah, there is.
It's like, what the hell do I even start? But that right there is exactly where you start. That's how you start. That's what it means to start adopting and using it.
Right.
Because if you don't, if you turn the cheek and you resist and you just keep doing what you're doing, that 10 days worth of work, somebody else that's right next to you that's in the same position is doing it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And that's the breakthrough.
Yeah, it's kind of, again, to go back to the analogies, and speaking of architects, I was out there in the era when people did everything, they drew it all manually, ink on linen,
That's freaking
whatever.
cool, man.
But and then when CAD started coming into play, there were all those old guys who were like, that's no good. You can't design anything on a computer. You've got to be able to draw, okay?
Yeah.
Of course, they're freaking total dinosaurs at this point.
Right.
CAD absolutely took over, and then we got into 3D, and then we got into 3D visualization, and yada, yada, yada. Today, it's being used for things like, concept design.
Yeah.
I need a 40,000 square foot building, on 2 levels on this site. Give me a scheme.
Yeah.
AI.
AI's doing it.
Yeah, AI and 3D modeling is blowing up too. It's crazy.
Yeah. So,
but what
you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy
Well,
that's the ink on linen, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or you can be, but you need to know how to set that type of business up. It's a very artisan type business.
Yeah, that
You
may
have-
not be an entrepreneurial venture. It's not
'Cause
that
it's
scalable.
Right.
That's the difference,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, you might be able to make money. I mean, you could be superbly valuable in some way, but I think that you need to know what direction you're going, and if that's what you want to do, then so be it.
That's a good point. I work with another business where we've got somebody in marketing that uses AI extensively. And honestly, I feel like the quality of the writing is deteriorated. That creativity is being reduced through a desire to basically automate everything.
Yep.
How do you combat that? And yet this guy's got the keys to the marketing machine.
That is a real big challenge. And, going back to just the education background too, that's, teachers still very in tune with that world. That's what they're worried about a ton too, is just, are our students going to be able to think for themselves?
Yeah.
And so, I'm very against solely using AI and just like copying and pasting a result and submitting it. Like, it needs to be a partnership. It's the same thing in software engineering. It needs to be paired programming. If you're just automatically deploying AI code, you're going to run into a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Same thing for content creators. It's going to continue to get better, but it's still very recognizable, and especially if you're paying attention to it. Like, this is definitely written by AI, and it doesn't have that human touch to it.
Exactly. Yeah, it starts to lose
A luster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, and I think that's, let's be honest. Like, if my life was just set up completely to be automated, I would be extremely bored.
Yes, you would.
And I would have no honor or integrity. Not talking about Elon and all the things about him, but I did watch a video of him, and one of my favorite statements was that, he said there will be a time where everything is basically provided for you.
Yeah.
Like, food is going to be so inexpensive. Housing is inexpensive. He goes, but the real problem is what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you don't have to work? Because work is an important part of our identity.
Yeah.
Very important
that's truth
part.
to that.
And so, but I think that to hold on to that truth as you go through this evolution is important, because like, you need to know, like, you're not trying to automate your life. You're trying to expedite your opportunities, right?
Right.
And it needs a coach. You need to give direction, and you have to find your fitting into that, your talent and your strategy, because that's where the genius comes in. It comes in when somebody has a vision, they can see something, they're excited about what they're doing, they're fitting a market need, and using all the tools available for them. I mean, I feel like that's going to be definitely at least the next 10 years of what we're doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And but participating in these tools that are available, like the Chat GPTs, the Geminis, the things are all out there for the consumer base, is extremely important. Like, you have to start prompting. You have to start playing with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, just like what Connor's doing is so critical, is learning how to query that thing.
That's right.
Learning how to ask it what you want it to produce for you.
Right.
Because I've experimented with it, like we all have, and I found that things do improve when I refine it and give it additional
Yes.
inputs. But I prohibit my students from using it in their writing.
Yeah.
Now, some people could say, well, that's dumb, though.
Yeah.
I'm really torn there. Do I not want my students to use the latest tools that are available to help them? I mean, it's like I've had guest speakers come in and go, I don't, get your pen and paper out. I don't want to see anybody on their phones or computers. Well, I keep all my notes in my phone, and I have for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I go to board meetings. I'm on my phone. I was on one board where the CEO kept saying, Mark, you got to put your phone away. I'm like, no, I'm not going to put my phone away. Okay? I won't be on the board then. That's fine with me. Because that's a tool I use.
That's right.
Why do I want to? I don't need a big excuse me. I don't need a big computer. I don't need a big computer to do it. I do it right on my phone. I'm fast.
Yeah.
So am I doing that to my students, I guess, by prohibiting them from using AI?
I mean,
what do you guys think?
I think in a area of like writing educational papers, to me, that's where it's like, you shouldn't use it, in my opinion, because what are they going to learn at all?
Exactly. They push a button.
from this subject. Yeah.
Yeah. They may not even read the final thing that it produces.
You can, and we've talked about this before, like you can even prompt it to say, write me something that's undetectable by AI detectors.
Wow.
And
I
it-
did not
and it
know
passes.
that. That is fascinating.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Big Talk About Small Business. If you have any questions or ideas for upcoming shows, be sure to head over to our website, www.bigtalkaboutsmallbusiness.com, and click on the Ask the Host button for the chance to have your questions answered on the show. Stay connected with us on LinkedIn at Big Talk About Small Business. And be sure to head over to our website to read articles, browse episodes, and ask questions about upcoming shows.